Check if we have everyone correct. Miss Jeba and Mr. Jan. Okay. Anna Pastore.
Це пані Анна Пасторе.
Добре. Simon Williams. Is it Simon or Simon? Simon, thank you. Matthieu Ardin.
Я исполнительный директор Goethe Institute. Дайте имя правильно, чтобы записать.
Who is director of French Institute in Kiev. Good, thank you. Suzanne Becker. Good. And your your vice director of Goethe Institute in Kiev. Fabrizio Romano is not here. Okay. Daniel Liesner, this is you. And your could you? Okay, cool. Your deputy head of the culture department in German embassy. Could I have your name, please? Matthieu.
Just Vincent.
Check center. I remember to see it last name. You're director of the Czech Institute. Just to remind me briefly, first I announce your topic, then I announce all of you one by one, and then you're free to speak. So all of you, if you need, just make your statement, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just the two of you, right? So you make your statement, and then we go to questions and answers. Okay? Доброго дня.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We resume our working day, and our current topic is European Day of Languages, celebrating together. We have plenty of speakers today. We have His Excellency Mr. Jan Tombinski, Ambassador, Head of the EU Delegation in Ukraine, Ms. Figel, Director of the Polish Cultural Institute in Kiev, Anna Pastore, Director of the Italian Cultural Institute in Kiev, Mr. Simon Williams, Director of the British Council in Ukraine, Ms. Matthieu, Ardin, Director of the French Institute in Ukraine, and Ms. Suzanne Becker, and Lucy Gregory, Director of the Czech Institute in Kiev, also Daniel Liesner, who's Deputy Head of the Special National Minorities Department in the German Embassy in Kiev. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be present at this press conference, and I'm happy to give the floor to Mr. Jan Tombinski. Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to be here on the occasion of celebrating the European Day of Languages, which underscores the multi-language principle of the European Union. Our main principle in the EU is the unity in diversity, and this underlines our principle that we provide people with opportunity to speak their native languages or any language of their choice, and at the same time to master other languages. The language is an instrument which requires you to think what you say, not just only how you say this. and today at the Forum on Ukrainian Transformation, we discuss much the possibilities of dialogue, because the language is an instrument, allows you to contact other people and to understand yourself better. During the last 20 years, I've changed 6 countries where I lived and worked, and the language in each country was a possibility not just to master and to understand the culture of this country, but also to understand people, other people better, and to understand myself better. That is, I encourage people to study languages to understand their identity better. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Now let me describe what we plan for the European Day of Languages. All the institutions involved into this event, they prepare their own programs. We prepare our own exhibition sites. Also, we prepare special events for children. We offer reviews of cartoons, movies, then puzzles representing the map of Europe. Also, we organize a dance festival and festival of national cuisines, and people will be able to taste Europe, so to say. At noon, it will be possible to experience the sightseeing tour about sites in Kyiv where the Poles lived in 19th century. Also, we will represent the possibility how to go to European universities to study. But here our objective is not to show the opportunities for studies, but also to demonstrate that that people can learn during their whole life. Also, you have already heard from our participating colleagues that we have many stakeholders. UNIC is an association of the institutes of culture functioning in Ukraine. And we unite Goethe Institute, the French Institute, Italian Embassy, Italian Cultural Center, Austrian Cultural Center, Polish Cultural Center in Kiev. I think I remembered all the institutions. And excuse me, please, I forgot to mention the British Council. All the participants of this event are gradually getting involved into the training courses for civil servants from the ministries. This is going global program. And on the 27th of September at 11 a.m. we invite everybody, and the event will last by 17 p.m. At the end, we will have an award ceremony after the competition, special competition on and we will also show the movies. Now I suggest you to ask questions.
Please welcome questions or comments. If no, let me make one from the Ukraine Crisis Center. Could you provide more information as to whether there will be more festivities outside Kyiv or it will be just in Kyiv and in one place? This year, like the past year, we are going to organize the event just in Kyiv. At this moment, we have not decided yet upon expanding our initiative to other cities or regions. One more question.
There was a mention of the Go Global program, and in today's world, we do understand that the main language of business and now of diplomacy, unfortunately or fortunately, is English, with all due respect for other languages, of course. I'm very curious if you could mention or brief us on the developments of this Go Global program, because we do believe that your embassy and the British government and American government could really do a great deal to help Ukraine improve the level of English which is being taught at the Ukrainian secondary schools and as well at the university level and many other things. So where are you on this? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I should start off by saying that English is not the only language that Go Global is focusing on, and with due respect and honour and gratitude to my colleagues, all of our languages are important. We recognise that English is sort of the international language of trade, not the international language of diplomacy, that's French, but is one of the main international languages. We at the British Council and my colleagues are working closely with the Go Global organisation and with the Ministry of Education to see how we can improve the level of English that's taught at schools, at universities, the level of English that civil servants use when they're negotiating with international organisations. Next year is going to be the year of English. I hope that future years will be the years of other languages. Next year is also the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare. So we're working in a range of areas to both help individuals improve their language, to help teachers improve the English that they teach in schools, to help universities improve the organisation and structure of the English language training they give, to help civil servants improve the English that they have for their international work. But I know that all my colleagues are also working in the same areas with their languages as well. So yes, English is a large part of Go Global, but it's not the only one.
I will just follow up on Vasil's question. If you could elaborate a bit more, maybe the representatives of other languages and other cultures. What are your plans for the Go Global initiative for other languages except for English? What is the area that you will be working on? Will that be schools or, I don't know, universities or maybe state institutions?
I think I can repeat that what Simon's told. We are working really closely with schools here in Ukrainian, and we will extend this work to provide more German learners in schools and also in universities. So we have new programs for universities to learn the German language, and we are thinking also about going in professional preparation and professional in the professional lycée. So this is the same what British Council does, I think, and the same what Institut Français is doing, and the same what everybody who is sitting here doing. We just organize a little bit on another with Go Global together. Thank you.
Może. From the Czech Center, we also would like to concentrate in the future on closer cooperation with schools, with middle schools, to start some foreign exchange students program and also some specialized program in the universities, especially medical schools, technical universities, law schools, so that we would provide the opportunity for students to get in touch with the Czech language, because in the Czech Republic, in case you learn the language up to a certain level, then all the governmental education is for free.
А я можу тільки добавлю, що з нашого
I can only add to here that we from our side have joined the program and we have already suggested to prepare lessons of Polish for staff personnel in the ministries of foreign affairs of Ukraine, professors at Kyiv Mahila Academy, and we also address some NGOs willing to learn Polish to make advantage of our neighborhood relationships. І ще одне запитання у нас здається.
Use questions, but I just thought, since you all showed up here, and this is a good opportunity, we have many people now watching you live here. And of course, Language Day is a great endeavor, a great project, and I would like to laud you on that. But I have more of a general question about public diplomacy. Apparently, you all represent public diplomacy outfits of your countries. And the main goal of your operation here is, of course, to promote language, culture, traditions of your countries, and just familiarize them with the country where you are in Ukraine. However, Ukraine is currently undergoing various reforms. And we are working closely. Our media center is actually part of this public diplomacy effort, but which has been done by people in the private sector and civil society, but we're helping our government. But my question is more about Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which also needs to be reformed. And we don't really talk about this much. And of course, maybe it would not be very diplomatic from your side to be providing comments on that. But maybe you could provide your ideas of how you think Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs could improve its public diplomacy, its international outreach, the work they do in terms of communications, and perhaps there are already programs which are supported by your respective governments to help reform the MFA, Ukraine's MFA, to make it more effective and just to make it work better. And of course, I would like to welcome Ambassador Tombinski to start, so that you all have a little bit of time to think with your answers.
Дуже вдячний за це запитання.
Thank you for the question, but that's really a complex matter to respond to. I am not going to speak as to the ways in which this or that ministry should be reformed, but I do understand that at this moment, on top of everything that has been done for the past 1.5 years in Ukraine, I mean, starting from the time of the Maidan, that all contributed to shaping a very emotional perception of Ukraine and in Ukraine, but we may not play emotions all the time, because emotions will inevitably change and subjects will change, and you can see from the European environment how the shift in emotions went to, say, the current matters with migrants, and I can assure you that there is a huge interest in Ukraine and a positive attitude towards Ukraine. The recent developments in Ukraine have been rather positive because it was a common outcry of the people willing to stay, that they are citizens, that they no longer want to be subjects of policy. Nevertheless, the question of today is to how successfully develop the project of modern Ukraine. And I think the Ministry of External Affairs, together with other ministries, could and should use all the capacities and all innovative technologies to contribute to this. The information market is a very important market, and it is not about emotions. It is about a very useful, quality and interesting product that will show the capacity of the Ukrainians to move forward and the capacity of the country to go through the process of transformation, becoming a part of solution from being a part of a problem. And it is up to the ministry and their personnel to decide how they will do it.
I would like to add to His Excellency said. All institutions are involved to all sorts of assistance. We shared our experience and provided information how all our institutions function. Also, we participated in this program with the Shevchenko University. Also, we shared our experience with the Ministry of Culture, and many times we emphasize that we should speak more not about Maidan and its emotions, but to speak more about Ukrainian contemporary culture and contemporary Ukrainian culture might be interesting to people in many countries. If there are no further questions, then let's wrap up, and you can also communicate off records.
But you're free to continue communication here in the premises of Ukraine Crisis Media Center off records. Thank you, and our next press briefing is Colonel Матузяник about report from the ATO zone. Дякую, наш наступний брифінг о 12:30. Полковник Матузяник.
Дякуємо.